Have you ever wondered what was Alexander the Great like as a person, beyond his legendary conquests? This question has intrigued historians and enthusiasts alike for centuries. Alexander the Great, a name that echoes through the annals of history, synonymous with conquest, power, and the unquenchable thirst for glory. Yet, beyond the battlefield and the grandeur of his empire, who was Alexander as a person? What was his life like when he was not leading armies or strategizing his next move? Born to the throne of Macedonia, Alexander's life has been shrouded in tales of wonder and awe. He was said to have been tutored by Aristotle himself, and legends speak of him taming the untamable horse, Bucephalus. His military exploits, starting from his initial ascension to the throne to his untimely demise, have been chronicled extensively. But these accounts often overlook the man behind the warrior king, his desires, his fears, his relationships, and his innermost thoughts. That's where our journey begins. The aim of our exploration is not to recount his battles or his strategies, but to delve into the heart of Alexander the man. To unravel the enigma that is his persona, to understand the human beneath the crown. We shall explore his upbringing, his friendships, his loves, and the personal struggles that shaped his life. Indeed, history is often more than just dates, battles, and conquests. It is the story of people, of their lives, their desires, and their fears. It is an intricate tapestry that weaves together the public and the private, the grand and the intimate. And in the case of Alexander, it is a tale of a man who conquered the world, but remained, in many ways, a mystery even to those closest to him. So let us begin our journey into the personal life of Alexander the Great, starting from his early years. Born in 356 BC, Alexander was a charismatic and ambitious young man from the very beginning. Born into royalty, his father was King Philip II of Macedon, a formidable ruler in his own right. His mother, Olympias, was a fiercely ambitious woman who instilled in her son a belief in his own divine destiny. Alexander's early life was steeped in a rich tapestry of education, warfare, and power struggles. His intellectual curiosity was nurtured under the tutelage of none other than the great philosopher Aristotle. This legendary scholar imparted Alexander with a diverse education, spanning the spectrum from philosophy and politics to science and the arts. Yet it wasn't just Aristotle who left an indelible mark on Alexander's personality. His parents, particularly his mother Olympias, were highly influential figures. Olympias, with her strong personality and religious fervor, nurtured Alexander's belief in his own invincibility. She filled his young mind with tales of heroic ancestors and divine prophecies, fueling his ambition and sense of destiny. However, the relationship between Alexander and his parents was far from simple. His father's numerous marriages and his turbulent relationship with Olympias created a complex family dynamic. These experiences, while challenging, played an instrumental role in shaping Alexander's resilience and tenacity. The early years of Alexander's life were not just about royal intrigues and educational pursuits. He was, after all, a prince in a kingdom frequently embroiled in warfare. From a young age, Alexander was exposed to the realities of military life, honing his leadership skills on the battlefield and developing a keen understanding of strategy and tactics. These formative years laid the foundation for the leader Alexander was to become. His upbringing, education, and the influences that shaped his personality played a crucial role in his rise to power, setting the stage for his future conquests and his enduring legacy as Alexander the Great. Alexander's relationships were as complex as the man himself. The bonds he formed, the friendships he cultivated, and the alliances he made, each played a significant role in shaping his life and his reign. Let's begin with his friendships. Alexander's closest friend was Hephaestion, a fellow student of Aristotle. Their bond was so deep that it's often described as a brotherhood of the soul. Hephaestion was not only Alexander's confidant but also his deputy in command. This relationship was more than just a strategic alliance, it was a deep personal bond that shaped many of Alexander's decisions. Moving on to his marriages, Alexander had 3 wives, Roxana, Stateira, and Parysatis. His marriage to Roxana, a Bactrian princess, was a union of love and strategic alliance, showcasing Alexander's ability to merge the personal with the political. His subsequent marriages to Stateira and Parysatis, daughters of the Persian king Darius, were more political in nature but nonetheless played a crucial role in his approach to ruling his vast empire. His views on love and companionship were quite progressive for his time. He believed in the power of love to unite people, a belief reflected in his encouragement of intermarriages between his soldiers and foreign women. This was a strategic move to foster unity within his diverse empire, but it also reveals Alexander's personal belief in love as a unifying force. These relationships were not just about politics or strategy, they were about companionship, understanding, and a shared vision. They were about navigating the complexities of a world that was constantly changing and expanding. They were about finding solace in the familiar amidst the whirlwind of conquest and power. Alexander's relationships and friendships offer us a glimpse into his personal world, a world that was as complex and multifaceted as the man himself. They show us a side of Alexander that goes beyond the battlefield and the throne, a side that is human and relatable. These relationships reveal a more human side of Alexander, often obscured by his larger-than-life image. Behind the facade of the invincible conqueror, Alexander grappled with personal struggles and insecurities. Alexander the Great, the celebrated conqueror and strategist, was also a man of profound complexity. His mind was a battleground where personal struggles and insecurities waged war, often shaping his actions and decisions. Despite his outward bravado and indomitable spirit, Alexander was not immune to fear. He held a deep-seated dread of the sea, a phobia that would later shape his military strategies. His fears, however, extended beyond the physical realm. He feared obscurity and the forgetfulness of time. Driven by this fear, Alexander embarked on his relentless conquests, leaving an indelible mark on the annals of history. But Alexander was not just a man of fears and insecurities, he was also a man of dreams and aspirations. His ambition was as vast as the empire he sought to build. He aspired to create a united world, a fusion of cultures and civilizations, an ambition that was arguably ahead of his time. Alexander's philosophical beliefs, largely influenced by his tutor, the renowned philosopher Aristotle, played a significant role in his life and conquests. He believed in the potential of human reason, and often strived to integrate Greek philosophy with the cultures he encountered. This belief in the power of reason influenced his approach to leadership, fostering an environment of intellectual curiosity and open dialogue within his army. Alexander's views on death were equally intriguing. While he acknowledged the inevitability of mortality, he harbored a desire for immortality. A desire reflected in the legends he sought to create around himself. He yearned to be remembered, to live on in the pages of history, a desire that fueled his relentless pursuit of glory. These insights into Alexander's inner world offer a deeper understanding of his actions and decisions. His fears, dreams, beliefs, and desires were the unseen forces that propelled this extraordinary man to push the boundaries of the known world, forever changing the course of history. Alexander the Great was not just a legendary conqueror, but a complex individual with his own hopes, fears, and desires. As we've discovered in our journey today, the man who would become a legend was shaped by more than just battles and conquests. His early life, the relationships he fostered, and his inner world all played a significant role in molding the figure we know as Alexander the Great. Alexander's upbringing was marked by both privilege and hardship, a dichotomy that would shape his character and worldview. His education under Aristotle, his complex relationship with his father, Philip II, and his struggle to balance his royal duties with his personal aspirations, all contributed to the making of this extraordinary individual. In the realm of personal relationships, we learnt of Alexander's deep friendships, like that with Hephaestion, and the bonds he formed during his life. These relationships, marked by loyalty and camaraderie, provided Alexander with much-needed support and companionship amidst the challenges of his rule. And who can forget our dive into the mind of Alexander? His ambition, his desire for immortality, his love for knowledge, and his struggle with loneliness all painted a picture of a man as human as any of us. The narrative of Alexander the Great is often dominated by his military accomplishments, his strategic genius, and his empire building. And while these are indeed integral parts of his story, understanding the man behind the myth requires us to delve deeper. It requires us to see Alexander in the context of his personal life, his upbringing, his relationships, and his inner world. In doing so, we uncover a richer, more nuanced view of Alexander. We see him not just as a warrior king, but as a human being, grappling with the same challenges, emotions, and desires that we all do. And in the process, we gain a greater appreciation for his extraordinary journey and the indelible mark he left on history. In understanding the man behind the myth, we gain a richer perspective of Alexander the Great, not just as a warrior king, but as a human being.